Do I regret ending the Psycho series? Do I regret it? Do I regret ending it? The biggest show of my career? Welcome back, everyone. My name's Just Tyler Ridgway, and today we're doing a Q&A. That sounds like something I do on the McJourney's channel. Well, I took to Twitter to ask you guys to ask me questions using the hashtag AskJugger, and you guys delivered some really smart questions. Y'all have aged well and have very, very much wisdom. Sorry, I made up threw money into Dogecoin, so now I'm trying to talk like Doge. Anyway, I got like 43 questions for this video. It might be a longer one, so strap yourselves in, guys. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Sonic Runner says, how do you keep the devil horns on your face? Well, luckily, they're not still on there, but we use what's known as spirit gum, which is a prosthetic adhesive. I have adhesive in my mouth. You can also use what's known as prosthetic adhesive, but we used to like spirit gum. I felt like it's a little nicer on the skin. The devil horns are stuck to the latex mask. And yeah, just understand that anytime you use prosthetic, which we've used the prosthetic mask in many different series, and they're great. We love using them. It really, you get this level of immersion and detail that you don't normally get with like a mask. But I want everyone to understand, it is a miserable process to get that adhesive all your face. I remember many nights after filming at 5, 6 a.m., I'm just in the shower, just clawing. Just like ripping my face off. I mean, you even got to see that in the Devil Resides video. Much ouch, very pain. Please go up, Doge. Go up. I'm kidding, guys. I'm not in Doge right now. I was giving all you guys credit because it seems like you're older, you're asking more wise questions, but we still got the Sonic profile picture, it's fine. He says, do you plan on opening multiple Airbnbs? So in the video where I talked about the lake house and us turning into an Airbnb, I mentioned maybe at some point getting another Airbnb property. In just the short time between that video and this video, I've decided I do not want the extra headache. I would rather be invested in crypto or stocks, something a bit more passive. Because to be honest, even though it's not that much work to run the Airbnb, it still is some work and it is some headache. And to manage now a third house, that's just, yeah, no thank you. There would have to be a really great deal to crop up for me to even consider it. Kyle asked, do you ever see yourself doing gaming streams again on YouTube or Twitch? Miss seeing that content. Much love, bro. You too, man. So I do want to do some more blackjack streams on the McJuggernuggets channel. We have a lot of fun with friends and family members, and I get to give back to them, give them some money, and it's just an entertaining stream. As far as gaming streams, I know I still have Twitch, and we have streamed on YouTube in the past. Honestly, I just thought about that last night. I'm actually getting closer to 200,000 gamer score. By close, I mean I still have 70,000 to go. And I thought about, like, what if I just went for a crazy grind? Like, I was just like, yo, watch me get this gamer score real quick and just started streaming it. You never know. I would just make sure you're following me on both platforms just in case I decide to do a random pop on stream. Aletta asks a book here. What is the creative process that you go through before making a video? How do you come up with ideas for each of your series? Do you have help when editing videos? And do you find it easy being in front of the camera when making content for YouTube? Woo! So as far as creative process goes, that's a very loaded question. And guys, drop some likes on this video if you would like to see me do a breakdown on my creative process for creating a series. As far as being in front of the camera, yes. Was it always? Heck no. I was very cringy, very awkward in the early years, as is everyone. Trust me, nobody is just naturally gifted at being on camera. And even if you are as a kid, once you go through puberty, you start to get very self-conscious and self-aware, and it kind of goes away and then maybe comes back later on if you really keep cracking at it. I've edited all my videos myself. It's only within the last year or two that I've actually had help editing videos. It's not that I can't do it, it's just that I don't prefer to edit. I do find it kind of tedious. And as far as coming up with ideas, I'm inspired by my real life, things that I watch, whether that be series on Netflix or even other YouTubers' videos. Even some of your guys' ideas in the comments section. They've definitely made their way onto content. But as far as the process goes, that sounds like a separate video. Remorse asks, have you ever scrapped any video or video series idea because they're too edgy? I mean, that's how my brain works. Like, there's some up stuff that comes through my brain. Is that the devil? Yeah, probably. Yeah. The short answer is yes, all the time. I have had to like almost censor my own brain just to stop it from thinking of too much edgy stuff. But like naturally, as a dude, I grew up with violent video games, violent series, and especially growing up on the internet, we've seen it all. I mean, Sega series was pretty dark, pretty morbid. My Virtual Escape, pretty dark, pretty morbid. I'm definitely into that. Yeah, a lot of death, a lot of violence, a lot of drug-related stuff. It's definitely the more interesting type of subject material for me, and I feel like most people. I don't really have specifics to share. I never went as deep as a full-fledged series that was like too edgy, but I just get ideas all the time. Kobe asks, what were some of the hardest challenges you've faced so far in your YouTube career, and do you have any advice on how to succeed on YouTube or any social media platforms? This will be upcoming video, is how to grow on YouTube. I can give you one answer, and that's that's shorts. Short form content is the wave on YouTube. They're remonetizing soon, and the growth is insane on there. You have to move on that now. As far as the hardest challenges that I faced on YouTube, one was just finding the type of content that I'm passionate about that'll also get views and that'll like blow up the channel. Grinding for 8 years with only 200 subscribers, it was very difficult to almost like find my niche. I had my niche, but it wasn't popular, and I wasn't marketing my content properly. I'd say that's the biggest challenge, is finding your place in this whole social media ecosystem. And I'd say the second biggest challenge I faced is it's probably, what is my content after the Psycho series ended? You know, a lot of people subscribe for a character and for the show we put on. Now the show's over. How do we evolve? What do we do next? And I'd say the third largest challenge I have is literally right now, just trying to figure out what is the best marriage for views and passion, creativity that I can do right now, also with, say, limited people around. And also, is content something I want to be doing right now? I've had many different options, many thoughts. You know, I've been doing the finance videos and things. So sometimes it's like too many options, too many choices causes paralysis. But I'm still in this current challenge, trying to figure out what's next. And that is a lot of actors or artists, you know, filmmakers find themselves in that. It's like, what's the next thing? Because you go from one project for a set amount of time and then the project ends and you're like, okay, now what? That's tough. Another Kobe asked favorite poster. Ooh, I love them all. That's so hard. I like a lot of the Devil Inside posters because we really put a lot of Easter eggs in them. I end up usually liking the more recent ones. So like the Devil Inside Season 4 and Devil Inside Season 3 posters. I really like. They're the more recent. They mean a lot to me just because it was some tough times to get through that content. Kobe is the artist, by the way. Shout out to him. I feel like he has gotten better as the years have gone on. So it's just now I got to make a new series so we get a new poster. That's literally become inspiration for me. Finishing Devil Inside Season 4, I was like, yo, let's just get to the poster. Curtis asked, if you could have a sneaker done for your brand, would you rather have a low or high top done? Let's get the high top. Let's get rigid R, like rigid across it. Let's get the orange, the white, the black. Ooh, looking fresh. I think you can imagine what I'm looking for. Ivan Jean Cross says, if you're down to box Lance 210 for Creator Clash 2, would you be interested? No. I would be down to do other things with Lance. Oh, have you noticed we got a nifty mic for this? We brought it. You guys complained about the audio, so we have this. Anyway, what were we talking about? Lance? Oh, no interest in boxing. You're talking to somebody who had a brain injury. I will never get in the ring. Everybody that is, man, whew. Respect to the guys that are willing to take their balls and put it into this ring and box each other. It's crazy. I have no interest in fighting. I'm not really a fighter. I value my intelligence too much, and I said I was a vegetable for like 8 months, and it's not fun. So I feel like the people that get in the ring, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like, what are they fighting for? Like, why do they have this need to like beat the out of each other? And I get money being a motivation, but a lot of these guys are already rich. So I do feel like there is a cloud obsession. Also, you get the adrenaline rush. It's very high stakes, and I think it appeals to the addict in all of us, all the social media influencers. But yeah, no interest at all. I'll be watching though. Oh man, I love watching it. Lewis says, if you had an offer from Netflix to produce a 4-season series, you had to give up your YouTube channel and give them complete ownership. Oh no. I don't care who it is. Steven Spielberg could march to my house right now and say, yo, give me your channel. I'm like, nah, bro. Even if I got a Netflix series, that would be incredible. But I would never want to give away my YouTube. This is mine. This is everything I built, everything I worked on. That would be complete sellout status. If that's what it took, no deal, Netflix. I'm doing the series on my YouTube channel. I say that now. All of a sudden next week, they're like, Jesse, like, I'll give you half of it. No, never. Andy says, what was the hardest part about making any of your series? It is tough, pretty much method acting and playing a character day in, day out, whether that was Isaac or Psycho Kid, or Devil Inside Isaac, who, you know, I would consider both Isaacs to be a little different in how I played them. That's a lot. And it's a lot doing scenes with people you know, you love, and you're fighting, and it definitely bleeds into the relationship. It's challenging. Just balancing life with your art and trying to separate the two usually is impossible, so it ends up being all or nothing. Either you're all content or you're all life. Lately, I've been pretty much all life, and it's been nice, but the devil always calls, and you never know. Energy says, what gives you the motivation to keep creating content and struggling with motivation on all fronts? I think everyone is, right? Dark times create dark thoughts, create dark actions, or none of the above. No actions whatsoever. The air has gotten thick, and I think it's just hard for anyone right now. I think we feel the state of things, the state of the world, and I think even if we don't, social media and where we're spending a lot of our time is making us think about these things. Lately, I wish I could give you better advice because I would like to help, but I'm struggling with the motivation as well. For a while, Psycho series, I mean, the projects that I have worked on, what motivated me was I felt like it was a story worth telling. And sometimes you just need a better idea, or you need to refine it more so that it is worth sharing. And even though Psycho series just kind of started organically evolving and the views were high and the money was coming in, so like those are good factors to keep you motivated. And also I had an employee and everyone was counting on me. We had contracts floating around, and the fans, you guys were counting. That accountability really helps. It's not really motivation, but it requires a lot of discipline. And you'll hear from a lot of successful people like, screw motivation, it's fleeting. You need to be disciplined and just do the hard work because you know it's the right thing to do. For me right now, what I'm finding is that I have to, every time that I've been successful, you have to get your health in check first. It's almost like making sure the foundation's strong, or else you're not going to be able to do the awesome work. Sleep, diet, exercise, and also your habits. Make sure the cell phone usage. If you have not seen the video, guys, watch my video on social media addiction. It's a serious, real problem. I've been struggling with myself because it makes you lazy. It makes you completely lazy and only care about instant gratification. You'll never do anything hard. And you won't even be able to think. You're just looking at other people's stuff. So that's my best advice. Get your health in check. Get all those boxes checked. Get off social media and start to plan your life and figure out the things that you want to do, and then just start taking those first steps, and then you're in. Terry asks, most underrated Psycho series character in your opinion? I feel like there's a lot of Team Jeffries or Team Jesse's or Team Psycho Dad or Uncle Chris or Uncle Larry or Aunt Melissa or Corn or Georgie, whatever. There's so many different characters, and I feel like they all have a lot of love. It's hard to pick underrated. Like, I can't say Aunt Melissa's underrated. Like, everyone loved her as a villain. I can't say Psycho Dad is. Honestly, and I'm trying to be unbiased here, I think Psycho Kid is vastly underrated. He was, throughout the entire series, he was very disliked, and I feel like the character was not as beloved publicly, yet everyone, like, low-key, like, ascribed themselves to be like, yeah, I'm like Psycho Kid, or at least empathized with him. I felt like it was like bandwagon against Psycho Kid. People were dunking on him, but then at the end of the day, behind closed doors, everyone was like, that's why everyone was watching, was Psycho Kid, the character. I think, and even myself, I'm like, oh, and sometimes I just like, oh, Psycho Kid, what a loser, whatever. But like, at the end of the day, I mean, the kid stood for a lot and been through a lot, and I think is the gold and is the through line to the entire series. I think Psycho Kid's actually underrated. Whoa. Nico says, why do you sometimes start super interesting storylines and never ever continue them? Like the alternate timeline of Psycho series stuff. That was awesome AF, but it just ended abruptly. Great question, Nico. We got to see in Devil Inside Season 4 some alternate timelines, a lot of mirror time travel craziness, and that lore was only explored in a couple different videos. One video in particular is Psycho Dad Destroys Eagle's Landing. This is one of my favorite videos we've ever filmed. We actually got to see an alternate ending to the Psycho series where Psycho Kid does not shoot his father. I think a lot of people thought that things were going to continue in this alternate timeline. However, that story was told. It was just a showcase using something everyone loved and to give people that like are still sad from the tragic ending of the Psycho series. It's just crazy, just a small ripple effect, and how you have this ability through the mirrors to affect other universes in ways we couldn't even imagine. It can even transcend space and time. So we really wanted to show that in a way that was like creative and compelling for the audience, and no better way than like, oh my god, what if the kid doesn't shoot his dad because he gets the money, he gets the safe combination from a fan of the Psycho series who was Swift. I'm super glad you wanted it to continue. I think a lot of fans wanted to see more from that, and that was the case with a lot of plot points. Some seem to die, but they've already served their purpose. Like, that's not the story I'm trying to tell, but it's cool that you guys want more depth with all these different things. It's just a hard thing as a creator you gotta really pick your battles. If you're left wanting more, that means I did my job properly, because you always want to be in high demand. You don't want to overdo it and oversaturate it, especially when it comes to Psycho series. I did not want to go deeper down that rabbit hole, because God forbid I taint the original series because I'm like starting to play with it too much, you know. Dark Warrior asks, what was your favorite memory during MVE? Just the times with everyone, the times with the cast. We were shooting all hours. We'd go till 5, 6 a.m. some nights, and we'd have people sleeping on the set half the time. Each episode featured so many different characters in different locations, so every day was something new. I got to see these 3 people that I love shooting with, or I got to see these 2 people I love shooting with. It was just a lot of fun, and this day I was behind the camera, and the next day I was acting, and the next day I'm working with this person. A lot of great characters. All the cast from MVE was incredible. That was just a blast. I'd say that my favorite memory is just all of them with everybody. Hawaii was a fantastic time to celebrate the end of the series, the big payoff for all our hard work. And yeah, I'd say it was just those long days. Those long, miserable days in the trenches, honestly, were actually the best days. Dreading them like hell, like, oh God, it's gonna be an 8-hour shoot, whatever. But once we were in it, I'm like, we're doing this thing. Like, we're actually doing it, you know? And it was stressful to all hell, and we had people's schedules and stuff, but, you know, in retrospect, just there was those moments where I was fully present and really just trying to get the best performance out of everybody, really focus on the script and making sure everyone hit their lines right. A lot of good, fun times there, for sure. Brittany asks, how's your knee doing? Are you able to stand for long periods of time yet? Ain't no thing but a chicken wang. Yeah, my knee's doing a lot better. I can walk now. Just the other day, I walked, I think, maybe a mile to 2 miles. Pretty good. Granted, I felt the pain and the aching the whole time, but to be able to do that is major progress. I think within the next 2 weeks, I'll be feeling pretty much normal, and then I would like to actually see if I can jog. And yeah, I think actually just an hour ago I got done lifting weights with the leg, you know, trying to do some band exercises, just strengthening it, and it feels a lot better. So that's why I was like motivated to like film a video now. I don't feel the pain today. That's great. Market Basket asks, is MVE going to be on Netflix? Probably not, no. I stopped pushing it. And it's not even that I stopped pushing it either. It's just that I haven't spoke to my manager probably, has it been a year yet? No, I think it's been like maybe half a year, 6-7 months. My manager, who we were pitching a show, we actually were this close to a deal being closed. It wasn't on Netflix, but it was on another streaming platform, and it was a spin-off of my Virtual Escape. Right around the time that Solomon had the sniper rifle, we were in the lake house, we were filming the Prophecy video. That was the last time I talked to my manager, and he told me we already had a bird in the hand. They wanted this MVE spinoff. I didn't write a whole script, but I wrote like a treatment of the series, and we were just waiting back on the final offer. And I never heard anything back from not just the company, but also my manager. A couple weeks went by, and I was like, I should probably text him and remind him. But I'm like, what is going on? 6 months later, I ain't heard a peep. However, I could follow up and be like, hey, what's going on? However, this has been the MO for many years with my managers, where it's like he's not even my manager. It's almost a running gag at this point. I don't know. It's a shame. Unfortunately, I don't have the contacts. Everything was going through my manager to talk to these streaming platforms and networks. MVE is just a YouTube cult classic, and it was on Storyfire, but maybe someday. I mean, no doubt there's going to be that VR-based series. I think one just released, so it was on like Amazon or something. They're going to be all over the place, and then we're going to be in VR ourselves, so MVE will be all around us whether we like it or not. Brandy says, biggest eye-opener when it comes to renting out your lake property Airbnb guests, biggest eye-opener for just working as a host. I'd say the eye-opener for me is that it was a lot easier than I thought. I was a bit intimidated, but really it's just having a clean space, take some pictures, which is nothing new, come up with some words to describe it, set a price, and send a text message when they check in. It's so easy. And I was shocked by just how lucrative they can be. I do want to reiterate, though, it's been 2 to 3 months, and we have not generated one booking. So it's possible that that first few months was a fluke, or maybe summer, or maybe it's the recession. I'm not sure what factors into people not booking right now. But I'd say the biggest eye-opener was I wish I had done this a lot sooner. And yeah, for just working as a host, just be super accommodating to the guests. Treat them how you would like to be treated. It's kind of like the golden rule, yeah? And we're going to do a double bonus round for Brandy. He says, what big life lesson are you learning right now, or what are some new goals you'd like to achieve? So I've realized that I've been very unhealthy. You guys might not see it, but I've been actually very unhealthy. My diet's been good. My knees up. My mental game's been terrible. It's very bad. I haven't been sleeping well, and that's been for a long time. One fun fact about me that not many people know is that, and why I was doing some finance vids, I've been a crypto trader for many years, very big swings, and I talked about it on my blackjack stream. When I first turned 21, I was very addicted to blackjack. Very addicted. I would go to Atlantic City, which is like an hour away from here, multiple times a week, and gamble paychecks. I would lose everything. Very, very bad. Well, I found the new vice, and I can do it from my phone, and it was crypto. I've done really well, don't get me wrong, and it's been great, and I'm very grateful for the position I'm in because of it. However, my mental health's been terrible, because the crypto market, unlike the stock market, it's like 24 hours. It's 24/7. You can't turn off, and a lot of swings can happen at 5, 6 a.m., and I'm dealing with very large dollar amounts, so it feels like gambling, especially when you're doing it on a short-term time horizon. The adrenaline's insane, the stakes are high. I might do a whole video talking about this. Pretty much just a vent. My big life lesson is not only social media addiction, but my gambling addiction when it comes to crypto, and trying to get back in touch with kind of how I used to be. I can't say that fully, because like I said, I was addicted to blackjack, and clearly I liked high stakes, so that's what brought me into YouTube. But I'm not very balanced, and I don't feel very rested in my brain. I'm very anxious a lot of the time, and kind of like trigger happy. And so I've been trying to get better at at that. So my biggest life lesson is that it is so crucial to slow down and to be patient, which goes against our social media generation, but it's so important. And actually just take time to where your brain's doing absolutely nothing at all. Can't have any distractions. And so my new goal with all that in mind is I want my social media addiction down under 2 hours a day. I want to lean back on the crypto gambling, go back to just being a long-term investor, and this is the perfect time for that. Just shut my brain down and then get creative again. Basically, I want to become a monk. And I'm actually not kidding. I want to become more monkish. That's real. And honestly, this ain't just a me thing, it's everyone. And you might not even realize just how unhealthy you actually are. Take some time to reflect and figure it out. The answers are not outside of us, they're in here. Market Basket, I got another question for me. Will Psycho Series 2 ever come out? In my eyes, Psycho Series 2 is The Devil Inside Season 3. It was a perfect blend of fiction and reality. There was big, crazy videos, all kinds of characters. Me moving to LA, maybe not, my relationship with Lance, there's a bunch of other YouTubers collabing, we have the devil show up towards the end. That felt very Psycho Series 2-esque. I think to do it proper Psycho Series 2, either you go full-blown cinematic, what happens after Psycho Kid's in Switzerland after he shot his dad, or try to make it real, or try to bring the reality back in a new story of Jesse Ridgway's life, kind of separate from the story of the Psycho Kid. But you never know. Justin Bieber said never say never. Very wise young man. Galore Fennell, one of my elvish friends. If you could go back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell young Jesse? I'd probably give him a hug, honestly. I'd be like, yo, man, you're doing just fine. You're doing okay. I wouldn't tell him, I wouldn't prepare him for anything. I wouldn't say, hey, man, you're going to get fat soon. Like, you don't go to Wendy's as much. I wouldn't warn him about anything. I would just let him know, hey, dude, you're doing fine. Don't worry about it. You're doing good. I feel like he would have needed to hear that, from older Jesse. I was almost emotional. Jesus. Trevin asked, would you ever bring back Isaac again? No. I don't have any interest, to be honest. Just the hair dyeing process has damaged my hair so much. Like, my blonde has never been blonde. The blonde is pretty much gone. It's like brown now permanently. My hair didn't used to be like this. It's very thin and sparse as well. The hair dye, I think the 3 or 4 times that I dyed it full head, a blonde, very light straw blonde, like to jet black. Terrible. No matter what the hairdressers tell you, they're like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's healthy. It's organic. No. Get the out of here. So I don't have interest in dyeing my hair anytime soon. And Isaac's story is told. I don't like revisiting certain things for a series, maybe as a one-off with the wig, but no promises. Oh my gosh, Lorenz, it's Uncle Larry asked, when are we doing another awesome series? Asking for a friend. Wow, you know it. We're all jonesing when Uncle Larry's hitting me up for a series. As I answered in a previous question, I need to get my mental straight. I'm all janked up, man. And then once I can free myself from the social media addiction and relax, once I'm like chilling, then I think ideas will start flowing again. Because I feel like even my compass is all discombobulated. It's not even calibrated to the right north. My north is south now. I feel like playing Jesse Tyler for so long got me lost in the sauce, and I think Storyfire and Brian's goals kind of like twisted into mine, and I think I got lost along the way. So, Uncle Larry, to answer your question, first off, need to get my health in check, and then we need to come up with the next series. I'm fine with it being another YouTube series, honestly. It doesn't matter where it ends up. It doesn't stop the process from being fun, and especially you got the right people that you're doing it with. We also would need a cameraman for that. And we had a competition, and we still come up empty-handed. Casey asks, are you and your dad going to skydive for 4 million subscribers? We're just going to ignore that. Don't make a skydive, please. We thought it was a good idea at the time, and I think we were both on a nut at the time, but now that we're like, few years has passed, the YouTube channel is like stagnant, and we're like, dude, I'd be terrified. I did not want to do that. I'd cry. Maybe that's what would make it so good, because me and my dad would be like literally bugging the out. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Don't make us do it. Maybe. Danielle asked, what was the one thing throughout your career on YouTube that you would define as your hardest challenge, and how did it shape the content you make today? Was it a positive effect? I'd say the hardest part about my YouTube career, I kind of answered this a little earlier, but like I said, figuring out your place. Like, what's the thing that's going to blow you up? Getting people to support you, whether that's like viewers or even people in your actual life, like getting them to believe in your goals and mission. The actual grind is a lot, especially to hit like really, really big levels. Like, you really got to want it, and you really got to bust your ass. Like it's a lot. And how did it shape the content you make today? Honestly, all the hard challenges, and I would say Storyfire, trying to grow that startup, trying to even compete with any of these other platforms. It's selling for 14 grand. A lot of friendships broken. I'd say all these experiences, it's not hard to imagine why I'm in the place where I'm in now, where I definitely am a bit more jaded. I'm kind of just like not as motivated to do stuff anymore. It's burnout in every vertical, like the creative process, the actual grind, actually like, you know, working with others. Like it's just like, and then COVID to boot, like it's just all been, it all wears and tears over time, and not to mention the different injuries I've sustained. So at the end of the day, it's net positive. Me and my family became so close because of the journey we went on. Financially, it was fantastic. Getting to connect with all of you guys was great, and to have all the posters on the wall and to feel like, you know, I've accomplished something. So it's been all net positive. There's prices to pay for all these things. Seth asks, will you ever return back to Storyfire? What are your thoughts on Storyfire now? Seth, I still post from time to time on Storyfire. I actually just talked to Deckchair, I think it was like a week and a half ago, because I saw Blaze Cash Outs coming out. To be honest, I'm just grateful it lives. We almost shut down multiple times. I thought Storyfire was potentially going to disappear. I couldn't even open it on my phone. I was very afraid of that. So to see the platform still around, people using it, Blaze Cash out, and all these community representatives, and they've made some changes to design, I think it's great. What is the long-term outlook or future for Storyfire? I don't know. Could it grow into a decent size alternative with Blaze as a cryptocurrency? That'd be incredible. Will it? I don't know. The leadership, Deckchair really has to put some good representatives to control the platform. They really got to make some smart choices, and it really also depends on these other platforms and what they deploy. It's looking like Twitter is going to enable crypto tipping on posts, also paywalls on content. I would not be surprised if within a few months Twitter looks like how Storyfire has looked for a few years now. So I don't know, competition's always fierce, but I'm just glad the fire is still lit. Oh, I said lit. Boom Boom Bop asks, do you think you will ever get back to doing at least 2 or 3 videos a week involving storytelling? Yes. If you had asked dailies, I probably would have laughed. I would have just laughed in your face. But 2 or 3 videos a week, that sounds sustainable. That sounds reasonable. Honestly, actually, I take the laugh back. I could even see a version where dailies are possible if we have the right content. It might not be all like for an extended period of time, but could there be a random month where it's like a video every day, kind of like a Christmas series type or a haunted series? Yeah, I think it's possible. I would just need a camera person and the right idea. We already have editors, so if anything, we could just get a few days ahead of time with the schedule, and we'll have videos to deploy on the reg. Like, it's not crazy to think like that, but I think we're still a bit a ways away from that being a thing. Rocky asks, is Lost still one of your favorite TV shows, and if not, what has taken its place? Yeah, Lost still is my ultimate favorite. The story, the characters, the soundtrack, the set, like everything, I still feel like it can't be topped in my book. There's been some other fantastic shows like a Breaking Bad, a Game of Thrones, Dexter. Dark was really good. Dark came really close to the kind of dark lore and mystery of Lost, and I like the time travel components. That's if you haven't watched Dark, highly recommend it. But in Prison Break, there's so many great shows, but Lost, there was such a good soul to Lost that it still wins. Cash and Cashew says, would you continue college if you've already spent thousands of dollars even though you aren't passionate about your major? Fun fact, when I went into college, my major was not film. I was trying to be a teacher. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I was a week in. I was in each of my education courses, and I was like, I don't think I can do it. And I'll tell you what, too. I ended up, one of my classes, I almost forgot about this. One of my classes, my ex-girlfriend, who my best friend, was in the class. And so I'm like, so not only were the classes boring and miserable, also like, I'm going to be a teacher since when? I'm just trying to be practical and realistic because I feel like the pressure from my family and society to get like a good paying job. The straw that broke the camel's back was my ex-girlfriend in that class, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this. My heart hurts. Like, she me up, and I'm like, I have to literally look at her across the room, and like, I still wanted to be with her, even though she cheated on me. Pathetic. That's not like Chef Ramsay. Pathetic! You donkey! You donkey! The donkey. No. Change your major. If you're not passionate about your major, either change majors to something you are passionate about or get out of college. So after that week, I switched to film and I felt a lot better. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is what I want to do, like deep down. I don't care what anyone else thinks. However, 2 years into my film major, you know, I had done a lot of research and found out that a lot of like producers and all these other people, like even in Philly or New York, the pay is not even that great. And I was like, what? And then also I was reading like that most most production companies and networks and anyone who would hire you, they actually don't care if you have a college degree. And then I was like, what the f am I doing? I also found out how much money it would actually cost because I was older enough to comprehend that amount of money. And I was like, wait, what am I doing? I almost dropped out 2 years in, then I almost dropped out 3 years in, and then I almost dropped out my last year. I felt pressured to stick it out, whatever. At least I'll have a piece of paper. I wish I dropped out immediately and just pursued YouTube full time. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the right answer for you. Everybody's different. If you want to follow up via DM, by all means, but good luck in making your life choices. Follow your heart. But it does help to be practical a little bit, you know. Slick asks, any strange UFO or paranormal encounters since your alien hunt? Ooh, this is a good one. No. I'll tell you what, the alien hunt was, it was fun to travel around, but it was a very anxious time. Storyfire was still in limbo and being transferred to the deck chair. I was not in a happy place, and it felt very much like Jesse Ridgway, needed to escape his life. I just felt like there was bad seeds that I had planted and that they were growing, and that I was unsure in how to harvest everything. I'm speaking in like symbolic spiritual terms, but I felt like things were dark and I was just trying to run away. I mean, the UFO was real, but I don't think I was in the right mental state to find them. Jesse's gone deep on us suddenly. Granted, we did see some weird in the skies, but nothing that compares to my experience in West Nyack, New York. If you have not seen that video, watch that video. That is a real experience and blows my mind. But I do think I will reunite with the mystical UFO beasts in the skies once my brain is in the right position. I do believe that the mental spiritual is connected to the UFO alien phenomenon. I believe they're two sides of the same coin. Trippy. Interdimensional. Levi asked, do you have any advice for up-and-coming creators, and do you have any plans for a big series? Kind of already answered that, but I did just want to keep touching on the shorts. YouTube shorts, please. Guys, it is going to be near impossible to break out. You're doing long form content. TikTok's heavily saturated at this point too. You can post TikToks and still blow up. However, you have an opportunity with shorts to get a lot of views very fast. Guys, don't worry. I will do a full video on this, but just all you need to know is search up shorts and how to grow on shorts right now and start grinding. You have probably like a year to 2 years to get big on shorts. It's probably less time because everyone's moving fast now. Snaps aside. Whoa. Cameron F says, what do you do to stay healthy? Any recommendations for muscle growth? Kind of the standard pillars, if you will. Make sure you're getting enough protein in a day, whether you're eating lean proteins. You know, I'll eat chicken breasts, ground turkey. I'll actually do whey protein shakes. Ascent, put a little picture, Ascent. Bodybuilding protein, the chocolate flavor, delicious. I feel fine drinking that, feel healthy. Get the protein. But you don't need protein. That's not true. You do need protein, but I'm saying like it's kind of irrelevant if you're not lifting weights. So try to lift some weights. There's a lot better, more qualified people to answer questions about like the form of weightlifting, the schedule, and like I said, that's a whole video on its own. Get some cardio in, you know, get the heart rate up, whatever that means for you. Get the blood pumping is what matters, and start building muscles up. But yeah, there's no shortcuts. You know, you ain't getting no roids up in here, dude. It is a long process. But the more work you put in, the better the results. You can't shortcut them gains. If you could go back in time and change one thing about the Psycho series, would you change anything? And if so, what would it be? In other words, do I regret ending the Psycho series? I remember I used to tell you guys like, oh yeah, no regrets, you know, end on a high note, all this. But to be honest, do I regret it? Do I regret ending it? The biggest show of my career, made so many people happy and made a bunch of money and was everything to me and my family and the fans. Yeah, I still don't regret it. Nah, we ended that the right way, baby. Like, okay, yeah, would it be great to keep telling the story and have the views coming in? But guys, we were up in front of the Attorney General. Was getting shut down. Honestly, I don't think I could have done anything different with the Psycho series, even if I wanted to. Even if I went back in time and tried to tamper with it, dude, who I was then, I would have myself out. I've been like, get off the set. We gotta, very diligent. Nothing would have changed me. Even me from the future being like, Jesse, don't shoot your dad in the end. Don't end it like this. I would have told this me to off. I know what I'm doing. So like, it's impossible. I can't change it. No, I think everything was perfect. Like literally. Because even if Psycho series kept going, we wouldn't have got the Doc series or Ursula or the Christmas series or all the collabs in November or Devil Inside Season 1. I think everything has worked out perfectly. As far as McJarnet's content, Storyfire is a whole nother deal, but that really wasn't. But I always do the same answer. I do wish we had a bigger backhoe. It's kind of like in Jaws, where it's like, you know, we should have had a bigger boat. It's like, yeah, no, we needed a bigger backhoe when we destroyed that trailer. That trailer destruction was weak. And I wish the pool destruction. I wish the pool destruction got 10 million views or 20 million, 100 million views. That video just did terribly. I think they were low key. I think age restriction and demonetization was already like sneakily rolling out at that time. Oh, Ashley May. If you could only save one from a burning building, oh my God, would it be Jenny or Mason? Jenny, she's younger. Mason's pretty much lived his whole life. Jenny's too sweet, pure, and innocent. That would be so sad. I mean, it'd be sad for both of them, but nah, that. I'm saving both. Nah, it would be Jenny. You gotta go with the younger one. So she still has a whole life to live, you know? Benzilla asks, what do you plan on adding to the Rigid house? It's looking great so far. Thank you. For those who haven't seen, the pool is completed. We do have a fence going around the pool being added this week, as well as a gate. And then we'll be doing some, you know, some manicuring of the landscape. You know, get some river rocks and the whole, all that bull. Will we eventually get a gate here to box out the fans? Gates are annoying. It was a pain half the time at my parents' house, and it's usually open half the time anyway. But the Rigid house deck is weak. The paint's chipped, the wood's coming off, so that's probably going to be the next project. But thanks, man. Everything's almost like tip-top tier at the Rigid house. I couldn't be happier. Mike the Rockstar asked, what would your advice be for someone who aspires to follow their dreams of getting into video and film production? Only helps to hear from the legend behind one. Oh, thank you. That's very, very flattering. Very nice. My simplistic advice is just create films and videos and put them out on the internet. I'll tell you this, there's two lanes to think about it, right? Do you want to get rich and famous and all that? I mean, because you didn't say that. You said get into video film production. So I would focus on the art. My first 8 years, I focused on the art. Do series, challenge yourself to do creative projects, express yourself. And why not? Put it on social media, put it on YouTube, try to promote it, try to get some views. And then either you're going to have to sell your soul at some point for your creative work to get views on social media, like I did with Psycho Series. Or if you're not willing to sell your soul on social media and whatnot, try to work for a YouTuber who's doing content that you admire, like mine or whoever's. And then if not that route, go traditional route, do some indie films, and do it all on your own. There is no excuse anymore for not having the right equipment. We've seen movies be shot on camcorders, on cell phones, make it into theaters before. We've seen Netflix pick up some stuff that, they probably shouldn't be picking up, but they're doing it. There's always ways. My advice for people breaking into the YouTube industry though these days is you're not going to make it on your own anymore. YouTube's been around so long, all the gold rush is over for the most part, and the people that made a lot of gold are in positions of power now, and it's hard for somebody to all of a sudden sift and find some nuggets, to where a lot of the big YouTubers now are full-blown companies and corporations, so to speak. Your best bet at breaking in is not through clout chasing or trying to go at your own. It's actually to work for one of these big YouTubers or YouTube companies, get experience, and kind of go from there. But to grow via long form, and even on TikTok anymore, TikTok's impossible because you're not going to make any money. With YouTube Shorts, you can grow and then eventually bring that into your long form content to make money, and then with Shorts monetization, you'll be able to make money. But all these things, guys, it's very hard on the social media game. I hate being pessimistic, but it is so competitive and so saturated now that you need to be literal God on earth to be able to pull crazy numbers enough to make a substantial financial living. Yeah, wish you the best of luck, man. Like I said, if you want to do video and film, then do video and film right now. You know what I'm saying? Underrated creator Angel, our very own editor, says, what are the best decisions we could make to guide us through our current recession? Oh, this is like one of the few finance questions here. Seems like you guys want me to be McJuggernauts and not this Jesse Tyler finance front bull. Thank you for, let's get real for a second, Angel. The best decisions right now. So I don't care what anyone says, we're in a recession, and if not by technical definition, we will be within a few months. Times are tough. Save your money. Definitely want to be sitting on cash for the most part. It seems like a lot of people, myself included, are very impatient, very eager to buy the dips on a lot of assets. You got Facebook dumped to like 6-7 year lows. Amazon, like a few year lows, just dumping. These are massive companies, billions of dollars, acting like coins. You gotta be very careful just to hold on to your money and make sure you're just trying to focus on your career, focus on your job, making sure you're doing the best that you can, saving any income that you do have coming in, because I don't think it's going to be over very soon. I think it's going to be a long period of time economically that we're struggling. Focus on yourself, focus on your career, saving money, and when you get an unbelievable opportunity to invest, this is where people get very, very rich. Wait until you see what's what's known as a capitulation event. Capitulation meaning basically the most extreme day or night of fear in the markets. When everybody and their mom is scared and their pants, you show up with your money already in the brokerage, already in the crypto exchange, ready to buy the hell out of that panic. And that's all you gotta worry about. Save your money, wait till there's blood on the streets, and then come in and throw your load down. And then just sit and wait, relax, and wait for the economy to fix itself. And then in a few years, you'll have this insane harvest because you planted a beautiful green seed, and you will be looking at maybe a 2x, a 3x, a 10x. You'll be rich, or at least richer. And like I said, see how you can maximize your income at your current job. This is obviously for everybody. Whatever job you have, always go above and beyond for the employer. Because you may not realize it, and maybe this isn't the case for, say, like a McDonald's or like, you know, some like crazy big corporation that like you don't even know your boss or whatever. But when it is an intimate environment, and you always got to put your best foot forward and do the best that you can, because you could get promotions, you could get opportunities that you might not have thought possible. Like I said, and it's like this with anything. The more you put in, the more you get out. And always remember that. Dune says, I've entered in every Ask Me Anything you've done and I never got in. Is now my chance. It's your lucky day, my friend. Dom asked, any plan to ever bring back Holiday Senate series? And is your new project a short film? So for those who don't know, I did a Twitter video. I was just talking about like I finally have an idea in mind that I feel compelled to shoot. It is, I would call it just a one-off short film or short video, maybe like a 30-minute long vid, detailing some stuff that's very personal to me and is kind of actually on the spiritual side. It's something I'm working on. I hope it sees the light of day. It might be something just for myself. I'm not sure, but I am excited about it. It's heavy stuff. So I hope I can get through it and do it and share it with you guys. But yeah, I'm always a fan of the holidays. The Christmas series was fantastic, but if I am going to do a holiday centered one, I want it to be even darker. There won't be one this Christmas, but maybe in the future. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to have my head on straight by this Christmas. I think I'll be doing a lot better. I'm thinking by springtime, I'll start to be thinking of like series related content. Zach says, are there any videos that you've regretted making during your long tenure on YouTube? No regrets, believe it or not. The only regrets that I have are videos that I never got to film. I don't regret the ones that I did do. I regret everything that I didn't do, because I always had a basis behind any video I shot, whether I was just trying to get some money or whether I was trying to get some views or whether it was like something I needed to get off my chest, or even the fan mail videos or the Q&A, whatever it was, there was clearly a purpose behind it. And the videos that I didn't film, clearly I was just too insecure or didn't make time for it, or who knows what reason, but it wasn't good enough. I should have just did them. And unfortunately, a lot of those things were made for me, what I was going through at that time, and I didn't get to express myself. Like I often say, Ursula was a series I came up with like 5-6 years before we even got to film it. So stuff has a way of manifesting and coming out later in life if you don't get to express yourself in those moments that matter. But yeah, I wish I executed on the ideas that I had. Right now, I don't have too many ideas, so luckily I ain't got no regrets right now. I do regret like wasting my time on my cell phone, but we talked about that. Robbie says, have you had any financial regrets for My Virtual Escape? Oh, I wish you had asked about like just financial regrets in general, because I'd give you some crazy ones. But for My Virtual Escape, none at all. Even though I lost, what was it, like 80 grand, something crazy. It was all worth it. I'm very proud of that series. And if I could do it again right now, I would. I would spend another 80 grand to make another My Virtual Escape right now. I shouldn't have said that, because now people are like, well, why don't you? I was like, no, that story got told. Maybe that's the budget for whatever the next series is. That's not My Virtual Escape related. And then speaking of Isaac, what was the perfect ending for MVE if we chose all the right choices? You guys got it. You guys got the perfect ending. The very bad ending was actually Judgment Day. That's how the series was going to end. But you guys got the perfect ending, which was, it was all layer 2. It was all simulation. Everything's good, and Isaac got his little sister back, and everything's perfect. I was shocked. You guys literally picked every right choice. Yeah, I don't know how you guys pulled that one off. Dusty S'more says, how would you like your career? Oh, how would you like to take your career to the next level, pretty much? So that is a good question. I like how you phrased that, because that's how I've posed that question to myself for a few years now. I'm like, what's the new evolution of McJuggernauts? What is this? Or should I do this? Should I pivot and do something, whatever? And I've been stuck in that. For a while, I thought the next level was Storyfire, get all these creators on board. We built something bigger than ourselves. Like, this is bigger than our own individual channels. This is like a whole entire platform. And we can give some kind of hope for aspiring creators. With what happened with Storyfire, it kind of ended up falling apart. unfortunately, I lost my bigger purpose. And so for the last year or so, I've been trying to re-find it. And I keep thinking of what's next, what's next. Guys, straight up, I think what's next is what's always been. It's my channel. I think humans and how we are wired, we keep wanting more and more. What's the next big thing? What's the next thing? And it's like, no, it's just more of the same. It's a trippy thing. It's a phenomenon too. Like even when you get out of college, you start to realize like, wait, you're on the same playing field as your parents. All they're doing is just working and earning money and going on trips and whatever. After college, it's all the same thing. For 40, 50, 60 years, everyone's playing the same game. Like make money and try to do something they're passionate about or whatever they find fun and try to enjoy life the best they can. So I don't know that there is a next level. Because what would you say the next level is? Something that gives you more money or more views? I feel like those are the two main metrics that society uses, and the two are pretty superficial. Because just because it pays more doesn't mean it's good, and just because it gets more views doesn't mean it's good either. So I've been trying to kill those metrics in my brain and just think, what would light me up? What would be the perfect creative and spiritual expression in my life right now? And I feel like I'm getting closer. But yeah, I think the answer is it's just a new series, a new character, a new story, some new form of expression. And I think I've gotten twisted with the finance stuff and all this other stuff. Anyway, I've been clearly going through some swings, and you're seeing it in real time. If you've been like, yo, I feel like McJarnet's been bipolar the last few years. Yeah. Cliff Booth asked, what's one filmmaker actor you'd love to work with? M. Night Shyamalan. I'd say Jordan Peele now. His last few movies have been fantastic. I feel like he's got that perfect blend of storytelling and dark edge and humor, symbolism and theme. It's great. And I'd go with like Spielberg, probably throw Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, a lot of the greats. And that's it for questions, guys. This was a big one, but thank you guys so much for all these. And if I didn't get to you, we'll have to do another one of these in the future. But guys, if you enjoyed it, slap some likes on this video. I hope you learned a bit more about me and like where I'm at right now. And also let me know if you like this better than the finance videos. I see what you guys are saying. Some people appreciate it. And you know what? Maybe the Jesse Tyler Ridgway channel just turns into a Jesse Ridgway channel. It's a lot more personal, less finance based, but I can still spit some finance stuff. And maybe it's not a finance. I'm just trying to find my way through this called life, but it's been great to just kick it back and have chill time with you guys. Seriously, thank you for all the support, but let me know what you want to see from me in the future. Love you guys to death, and don't forget to keep it rigid. And if something you wanted to know didn't get answered in this video, write me down below. All right, see you guys.